Steve Colescott here for elitefts.com. I'm talking to two Nutrex athletes. We have IFBB Pro, Zack and IFBB Pro, Mark Dugdale. Thanks for coming by, guys.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, this time we're going to be talking about training. So Zack, take us back to, you started out as a boxer. When you switched over to bodybuilding, what was your training like initially?
You know, when you first start off training, you don't know much about all the different body parts and all the different exercises. The only thing you know is like train chest and train arms, you know, because they're the only two muscles what you see in a t-shirt and what attracts girls. until you start noticing you have to wear shorts at the beach and you got skinny chicken legs, so you have to jump under a squat rack, you know. Like I said, yeah, so everybody makes the mistakes as a newbie. You train your chest first, then you train your arms, and you so and so you're going to shoulders and legs or whatever. And you know, after a bit you start asking people for advice, and sometimes, you know, it's hard to get this advice in them days because, you know, when I started off, internet was just came online, and basically I had to look in magazines and wait 3 months for a competition results and so and so. And it's like now everything's so like online, you know, just type in anything on Google, you'll find out what you need. You know, when people ask me for advice, I just think to myself, like, what food should I eat? How should I train? I just say, well, when you go to the internet in front of you, just type it in and you'll find out the answers. You ask 10 different bodybuilders what they do and what they eat and what they train, and they're going to give you 10 different routines and 10 different diets, you know. So there's no one right way of doing it. So you just got to bear that in mind and find out what your body requires, how much calories, what type of training your body responds to. It's all trial and error.
Okay. What was that early gym like?
Sorry?
That early gym that you first went to? Like,
yeah, like I said, it's just a normal, you know, gym for college kids and stuff like this. You know, we had one bench, we had a squat rack, we had a lat machine, a few dumbbells, you know. Wasn't anything fantastic like this. It's just the basics.
Okay. Tell us about your background. You had a little. It sounded like you had a little bit more guidance from the start.
Yeah, my uncle. Well, I called him my uncle. He's married to my cousin. Gave me a workout routine. John Burkholder gave me a few things. Actually, my uncle gave me a book by John Perillo with a lot of exercises in it and diets and such. And I followed some of that, but ultimately, because Dorian was the first guy I saw at the first contest I went to, I started following him, got his book, read the magazines, looked at his routines, and I was the HIIT disciple from then on. And I trained that way, you know, all the way through you know, my early 30s.
Okay. And you, in one of your videos, it's pretty interesting when you go out and train with Dorian. What was that experience like?
Yeah, flew to England and got food poisoning somewhere the day before. Got sick basically as I got on the plane, and was so sick I didn't even think I was going to be able to work out. But thankfully we were able to get in, I think, 4 workouts in the last 3 days or whatever that I was there. And I mean, it was awesome. It was the type of training that I do because I followed Dorian, but I had him, you know, yelling at me, and you know, it doesn't matter whether you're sick or not, you're gonna have a good workout. Train at Temple Gym with Dorian Yates yelling at you, you're gonna have a good workout. So he was my hero, you know, getting into the game. So to get to go do that was it was a highlight.
I've been out to Temple Gym, and it's a pretty hardcore place. What would you guys say the differences are between U.S. and gyms in the UK?
I think in the US there's a lot of mainstream gyms, you know, there's a lot of bigger gyms, and they cater for a lot of different athletes. In the UK we either got like small hardcore gyms, you know, dotted about all over the city, or we got like fitness gyms. We haven't got like a Gold's Gym, or, you know, where they cater for bodybuilders as well as fitness athletes and as well as, you know, other athletes, you know, in other sports. So it's like one or the other.
Okay. What are your thoughts?
I mean, the only gym I trained at outside of the States was Dorian's gym, which was obviously badass. I mean, I trained at Gold's Gym, But there's, you know, an LA Fitness, 24-hour fitness, all within walking distance practically. So yeah, I think more health club type environment. My Gold's is pretty cool. I mean, they let me bring in my chains that I got from Elite FTS, my bands, I leave them at the gym, and my safety squat bar, I leave that at the gym.
Yeah, that'd be hard to cart in.
Yeah,
every week.
so they're pretty cool there. And I also am a member of a place called Eastside Gym, and it's small, used to be mostly power lifters. I got a key so I can go in and work out early before Gold's is open, so I kind of bounce back and forth between those two.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the basics of your program, and we'll take it from the off season. How many days a week do you train?
4 days a week.
Okay.
Yeah,
And how do you break it up?
Yeah, I train Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Mondays I do legs and calves, and Tuesday I do chest and triceps. Wednesday off, Thursday back and biceps, and Friday deltoids, hamstrings, and calves again.
Okay. What would you say are the weak areas that you're trying to work on?
Yeah, my hamstring, that's why I separated it from the quads. I found out that training quads and hamstrings on the same day, like, I felt like I didn't have enough energy for training hamstrings hard, so I separated it so I can go full force on my hamstrings.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when a contest approaches, how do you change that setup?
I don't change nothing at all. The way I see it is that weight training is to build muscle. Weight training is not about doing all these different exercises and changing your routine around because you're gonna start building different lines and different muscle areas and stuff. Your genetics is your genetic makeup of your muscles. You know, only thing what's gonna get your definition is cardio. Cardio is for weight loss. Weight training is for building muscle. So don't try to confuse both of them. Like I see people in the gym and they'll like stay longer in the gym and do more reps thinking that, you know, it's going to help shape up their muscles different. Well, I just think that's just a myth.
Okay. Tell us about your week, how you break it up.
I mean, I trained HIIT, like I said, through early 30s. I mean, I think I was about 32, and I had elbow wraps, wrist wraps, and every joint hurt. And I was like, I just turned pro, I'm gonna have to quit. Like, I'm tore up. And so I finally shelved HIIT and started reading different philosophies from different guys. I mean, when I did the 2009 Olympia, I followed a Christian Thibodeau program, which had like lactate-inducing type workout circuit and stuff. And some Charles Poliquin stuff, German volume training, I tried that, and it was like, every time I changed, there was a benefit, but it quickly ran its course, and then I was kind of back where I was. And then I finally met John Meadows a year ago here, and he's programmed all my workouts since. We've actually worked up to, right now, I'm training 7 days a week, which would have been blasphemy. I mean, I couldn't have done it in my 20s even. So as it is now, Monday I train legs heavy, Tuesday chest and shoulders heavy, Wednesday back heavy, Thursday I do legs, more light explosive stuff, Friday chest and shoulders, light explosive stuff again, Saturday bicep tricep, Sunday I do back again, but more pump type exercise. So yeah, that's 7 days a week. I don't do any cardio anymore. And it's the intra-workout nutrition that is a lifesaver. Without that, I would have never said that that's even possible.
Okay. How long do those workouts take?
The Monday leg workout is freaking brutal and takes sometimes 2 hours. The lighter workouts, like he programs it such that all the lighter ones that I mentioned, which is second chest, shoulder, second leg, second back, are all optional. I'm way too driven. Like, I just cross out optional. So those ones can take, an hour, because you bang through them pretty quick. Not a lot of rest time between sets, and you're not moving super heavy weights. But legs is the longest. Like I said, it could be 2 hours. The other one's hour and a half, and then the lighter stuff an hour probably.
Okay. And Zach, if you can tell me, are there any techniques you use in your training? Are there any things, do you do supersets? Do you use what type of rep ranges? How would you explain your training system?
Yeah, basically, like, first week I'll do like, I always go as heavy as possible, and once I've got out as many reps I can, I'll rest pause it, and then go for it again. And then week 2, I'll superset it with another exercise, and week 3, I'll do a drop set, and then keep cycling that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long are your workout programs normally take?
40 minutes, 30 minutes, small body parts.
Okay. And is it a short rest period between your sets, or?
It's me and my training partner, on and off, on and off.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. We're done within 45 minutes maximum.
Okay. It sounds a little bit like if you look back here in the U.S., there's a guy, Steve Mihalik, who trained a lot of the East Coast guys, and they would do a similar program, and it was very fast paced. And a lot of the guys I know that have trained under him say that helps them stay lean because they're just depleting their glycogen. Do you think that might be true?
Well, like I said, if you've got a training partner, you know how long you're going to rest for, isn't it? So as soon as he's done his set, then that's it. I think it's a bit more harder if you're training on your own, because then you've got to time yourself. Mm-hmm. But like I said, basically, if you're doing a heavy set, you'll need a bit longer rest compared to the lighter set. So it doesn't really make much difference, but obviously you've got to have your cardiovascular system, on the go. But I still do cardio as well as my workouts, even in the off season. Like I'll do like 20 minutes before breakfast, just to get my metabolism going.
Okay. Talk to us about your training program, what you're doing with John in particular.
It's everything. One week to the next is never the same. One workout to the next is never the same. I know he has a method to his madness, and programs will run about 12 weeks. Mm-hmm. First 2 weeks kind of ramps up volume, and then you hit it hard, and the last 2 weeks you ramp back down, and then usually he'll say take a couple weeks off, and I beg him to just give me 1 week off. Mm-hmm. And then we're back at it again. And I know he has, getting me to explain it would totally do it. It would be a total injustice.
What are some of the more grueling things he's had you do then?
It's just a lot of volume. I mean, I came from doing like Zack, mm-hmm. Like you never work out longer than an hour, 1 to 2 sets per exercise a lot of times. And now it's like there's hardly ever an exercise where you do less than 4 sets. So I would say the volume probably is the most difficult thing, but I guess what I appreciate the most about it is that I'm able to train hard, or as harder, than I did when I was in my 20s, but he does it in such a way that it's safer, meaning, you totally destroy your legs with extensions and leg press or whatever, and then you squat last.
So your joints and soft tissues stay healthy.
Yeah, and then pushing 315 might feel like 500, when your legs are totally destroyed. Chains, bands, things that take the weight off, in the danger zone when you're coming out of the hole in squats or benching. All of that stuff has helped. I mean, I don't wrap anything anymore. I wear a weight belt when I train legs, but all my injuries and joint problems that I've had over the past aren't a problem anymore. So it's fun to get to train balls out and not hold back and not have injuries too. So.
Okay. I think a lot of that high intensity training when Menser and Dorian were pushing it made a lot of sense. I think the next evolution. One of the thoughts with the high intensity training is that you have a limited recovery ability, but what we kind of know now is that limit can be increased, which they didn't think of that before, and you just build up your volume. What would you guys say? We'll take this to you. What are the biggest mistakes people make in their training program that you see?
Like I said, a lot of it's down to form and how often they train the same body part. Some of them think the more they train it, the more quicker it's going to get paid. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Simple mistakes like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mark?
I see most bodybuilders just falling into a rut of doing the same workout. You know, like legs is always on Monday. And
Their magic program, and it's no
always,
longer doing magic.
Yeah, you know, and they're just, I mean, I know because I did it. You know, you stick to the same thing and you just grind yourself into the ground, not in a good way. And you have to change, you know. I mean, I think guys just get complacent and lazy and, you know, fall into a pattern, and that's how they like it and don't want to change.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.